Good evening. This meeting of the Littleton Licensing Authority will come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Chair Cole.
Here.
Vice Chair Levere.
Here.
Authority Member Buchanan.
Here.
Authority Member Day.
Here.
Authority Member Schock.
Here.
Authority Member Winsek. Authority Member Webb.
Here. Will you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Next, can we please take a look at the agenda? Does anyone have any comments or changes? And if not, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I so move.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item on the agenda is certification of minutes. Do we have a motion to certify the minutes from the February 7th meeting?
So moved.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next item on the agenda is item 5A, Resolution 04-2018 to approve a liquor license application for Laxmi Group, Inc., doing business as Haveli Indian Cuisine, 301 East County Line Road, Littleton, Colorado. Is there someone from the applicant here? Good evening.
Good evening.
Could you give me your name, please?
Bom Kumar.
And could you, we swear people in, so can you raise your right hand?
Yeah.
And do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give before this authority is truthful?
Yes.
Okay. And for the record, I'd like to move exhibits, that we enter exhibits A through G into the record.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? You can go ahead and put your hand down. And just so you know, we entered into the record exhibits which include your application, a memo from the police department, and then proof that things were correctly notified for the meeting tonight, and your petitions. So we have the application here in front of us. We usually just like to give the applicant the ability to introduce, what their company is going to do, and in your case, a restaurant. So if you'd like to just say a little bit about it, and then we can ask questions about the application, if you'd like.
Yeah, introduce my restaurant things.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Laxmi Group Incorporation, and 301 East County Line Road, Littleton. And we're trying to do a Indian kind of fine cushion dining, and trying to sell some liquor. Yeah, that's the thing.
And do you have experience? Do you or anyone in your management group have experience holding a liquor license?
My experience, yeah. I haven't done exactly the restaurant, but I used to be a worker of 7-Eleven, where I used to sell the cigarette and the liquor things.
Okay.
I worked there almost 8 years, different positions, assistant to manager also. I did about 4 years manager in 7-Eleven.
Okay. And
I have that experience.
And did you ever have any violations of a
Never.
liquor code? No.
Never violation, and right now I am doing my own business. It's an imported gift store. So I have a team to do involving the people, 2 more people are doing this job, this business. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, you're saying you and 2 other people will be the managers?
Not a manager, but partners.
Partners. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And your staff who will be involved in the selling of alcohol, will you have them go through any sort of training?
Yeah, I'll train them.
You'll train them. Okay.
I'll train them.
Okay. And you feel confident that you understand the full range of the rules and regulations about the liquor?
Yeah, pretty much I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Those things, yeah.
Okay. We also, like I said, we have a copy of the petition that you submitted. Is there anything specific that you'd like to say about the petition? And then I'll open it up to the rest of the members to ask any questions. But is there anything specific you'd like to, it looks like did you conduct the petition yourself?
Somebody did the petition, yeah. My partner,
Your partner did?
But my
Okay.
partner, right now, he's in Nepal.
Okay.
Because of his father is sick.
Okay.
Yeah, I live in Colorado Springs, but I am a partner. That's why I am here. He told me to come over here and to do the things. So, but we are pretty much similar as to do the things.
Okay. Okay. I'll open it up. Does anyone on the authority have questions about the application or the petition?
Sir, can you tell us what style or type of liquor or wine or beer you intend to sell?
It will be both beer, wine, and some hard liquor, I think. Yeah.
All right.
It is not much, like a bar, but little bit. Some customer ask us, we sell little bit in there. Our main target is to sell the food.
All right. And what's the seating capacity of the restaurant?
Capacity will be around 100 people.
100?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're not open today. When will you open?
Our target was to April 1st, but the other things is still going on. People are working on it. So at least we'll open, I think, on April 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a blueprint of the restaurant here. And the storage, is that where you store the alcohol, in the storage 106?
Store is what?
Store the alcohol,
Not much, little bit, yeah, we'll do.
because the storage room doesn't show that it has a door on it. Will it
We don't
be locked?
keep a bunch of store in the back about liquor, We have a certain area, the bar area, and some of on the back side of the bar area, we will keep little bit, some bottles there. It will not be a bunch of like a other liquor bar kind of things.
I'm just wondering, is it going to be locked, the alcohol, locked up?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to confirm, on the drawing we're looking at the bar, at the back of the bar, it says beer cooler.
Yeah.
Will that have a lock on it so that when,
I didn't know before to do the locker, but I will make it.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. And,
When I used to 7-Eleven work, and we used to lock the things also
Lock, yeah,
at the
okay.
night.
and I don't see, you all don't have any outdoor dining space, do you?
No, not right now, but we're thinking maybe next year we'll expand, if you guys allow, the other side of, that we have a very nice view.
Okay.
Just we're talking now, but right now we'll not do that. Next year, our plan, yeah.
Okay, well, if we grant a license, just know that you'll obviously want to talk to both the planning department, and then you'll also do, it's called a modification of premises, so that we know
Right,
that.
yeah, we'll do that, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
What will your hours be?
Ours
Your hours of operation?
will be normally 11 morning. We'll start the 11 o'clock to 3 for lunch, and will be 5 to 9 at evening time.
Even on the weekends?
Every day we'll do, I think. Yeah.
Any other questions?
On the layout you've provided, the bar, there's no seating at the bar, correct?
Ceiling.
Yeah. Can you sit at the bar?
Sitting, we will have 2 tools front, 2 bar tools, but not in the back, just front. Is there shows on here? But I am not sure.
I'm just trying to get an idea of, will the alcohol only be served to people dining, or can they go to the bar and only order a drink?
I think they do on the dining area.
So only to the dining area, okay.
Any other questions? All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we take a vote?
I think I'm good, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you. Since this is a public hearing, I'll just ask, is there anyone else here this evening who would like to comment on the application? If not, I would entertain a motion. If anyone would be interested.
I move that the public hearing be closed, that a resolution of the Littleton Licensing Authority be approved, which grants Laxmi Group Incorporated, doing business as Haveli Indian Cuisine, 301 East County Line Road, Littleton, Colorado, a hotel and restaurant liquor license, contingent upon approval by the Colorado Liquor Enforcement Division, and based upon the following findings of fact. Number one, that notice of hearing was properly posted and published. Number two, the applicant has possession of the premises, and the premises are suitable for the requested license. Three, that the needs of the neighborhood are not now being met. Four, that it is the desire of the adult inhabitants of the neighborhood that the license be issued. And five, that existing similar liquor licenses in the designated neighborhood are not adequate. And six, the applicant is of good moral character, record, and reputation.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I think I'll just point out for the exhibits are obviously in the record, but that the survey did show that there were no objections specific to the needs and desires of the community from the survey. So that part seems pretty cut and dry to me. Any other comments? With that, will the clerk please poll the authority?
Chair Cole,
Yes.
Vice Chair Levere,
Yes.
Authority Member Buchanan,
Yes.
Authority Member Schock,
Yes.
Authority Member Webb.
Yes.
Congratulations, and
Thank you, guys.
Best
Thank you
of
for your
luck.
time. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
decision. Yeah, appreciate.
thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
All right, next item on our agenda is item 6A, and we've got a little bit of change going on. So I've asked Lena to just let both the authority and the public know about some changes about the way we're going to handle things. So
Yes. So, hello, everybody. Today, I am going to be stepping over and sitting down behind, and Mr. Shunnison here is going to be stepping into the role of counsel for the authority for this part of the meeting. It was the feeling of Steve Kemp, the city attorney, that because our new prosecutor is an employee of the city, that there was some concerns about potential conflict with her being a part of our office and me potentially representing you and providing advice to the council, to the authority. So I am going to recuse myself, and Mr. Shunnison will be your counsel for the rest of the evening.
all right, and I know I might be jumping ahead just a little bit, but could you just briefly summarize the change in the way the city plans to go about the fine in lieu on a stipulation? I know we can obviously get to that in just a moment for the specific one, but to the extent that it's different than the way we've done it, would you be okay just explaining?
I am going to defer to the city clerk
Okay.
to explain the specifics.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chair, members of the authority. If you'll recall, several months ago in study session, we talked about changing our process just a little bit. And so this is the first one that we've done that. What we will be doing and what we'll be working with the prosecutor's office on is having dates of any potential dates of suspension called out in the stipulation versus the authority having to sit here and try and determine dates in the future that might be commensurate with the date of the actual violation. And so what you will see now in your stipulation, if there are any dates of actual suspension or a fine in lieu, at least one of those dates will be the actual date of the alleged violation. And then the additional dates will be dates in and around that. And what we feel that will help us to do It will save us some time, it will be more clear-cut, and it will also be a more fair way to have a fair amount of fine in lieu paid for the violation. In the past, we've always tried to avoid days where there might be big events downtown. We don't ever want to ding someone if it's Western Welcome Week or the block party. But if that's when your violation occurred, then that's certainly what you should be paying a fine in lieu for. And so in order to be fair to all licensees who may come into this situation, and we certainly hope they don't, but if they do, we just feel that it's a more fair and accurate way of determining a fair and legitimate fine in lieu or days of active suspension.
Okay. So any questions from the authority again about the general process before we get into the specific item in front of us? Okay.
Counselor, would you identify yourself for the record again?
Oh, there you go.
Start over.
It's spelled Arnold Shunneson, spelled Shunneson. Happy to be here. It's been 15 years, but you guys have any questions, I'll be here. And
All right.
hopefully we can continue to do this. Thanks.
Welcome back. And it's pronounced Shunneson?
Shunneson.
Shunneson, okay.
Ellis Island Special, I think.
All right. And we have a new city prosecutor. Good evening. Can you
Good
introduce
evening.
yourself?
I'm Dahlia Olsher-Tannen, and I'm the new prosecutor for the city of Littleton. So I'm
right.
happy to be here.
All right, welcome, thank you. So now that we've got some of the process introduced and we'll get to the specifics of the matter in front of us, is there someone here on behalf of the licensee, the Shack JDR Restaurant and Bar Group? Good evening.
Evening. My name is Brandon Sandberg, attorney registration number 42507. I'm with the law firm of Dill Carr, Stonebreaker, and Hutchings. I'm here with Jack Kish. He is the president and of the licensee, and we're here today to enter into a potential stipulation and answer any questions the authority may have.
All right, and will you do me a favor and just get a little bit more closer to the mic when you speak, but good evening. Usually I'll ask I guess Exhibit A is the stipulation for anyone following at home. I'll ask the prosecutor to review the stipulation, and then we'll come over to you all and ask any questions, and if you want to add anything from there. But
thank you.
Do you want me to just do it here, or you want me to go up to the podium?
Yeah, you could do it there. Yeah, it's fine.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we'll enter Exhibit A. Exhibit B should be part of the record, the police report, but we'll enter Exhibit A into the record. I'll move that we enter Exhibit A, the stipulation agreement.
Mr. Chairman, before the prosecutor begins, I want to make a full public disclosure. I office in the office building where Dill Carr and Stonebreaker is located. I don't think that causes me to recuse myself. I don't know Brandon as the attorney. We probably park in the same parking garage. But I want that on the record.
All right, thank you.
I'll second your motion.
All right.
I am going to recuse myself on this case.
Okay, let's do the motion first, and then I'll get to you in just a second. Okay, so we've got it. No, that's okay. So we've got a motion and a second to enter Exhibit A. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, go ahead.
Now, I will recuse myself on this case.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
That's right.
Okay, so back to City Prosecutor. Can you go ahead and introduce the stipulation and any context you'd like to provide us that as we consider it?
Sure. Good evening, Chair and members of the authority. Based on the facts of the case, there is probable cause. The stipulation that we came to is a 10-day suspension of the licensee's liquor license with 3 days of actual suspension and 7 days held in abeyance for 1 year. The licensee shall be allowed to pay a fine in lieu of the actual suspension, and the fine is 20% of the licensee's gross sales of alcoholic beverages, not less than $200 and not more than $5,000. The period of suspension, we did discuss in detail. I felt, based on speaking with the deputy clerk, that the date of the incident should definitely be included as one of the 3 days for the fine in lieu, to calculate the fine in lieu. I did also include, so the date of October 14th was a Saturday. I also included the previous Friday, so the 13th, and I gave the licensee or his attorney the choice between Sunday or Thursday. He chose Thursday. So the fine in lieu will be calculated based on October 12th, 13th, and 14th of 2017. The reasons why I felt that this was a fair stipulation was that the shack has not had any violations since 2004. So that's about 14 years. There was no violence involved in this incident. No one was injured. The bartender no longer works there, and the rest of the staff will be receiving or has already received additional training via tips. So based on all of that, and really a lot of it was that they have not had a violation in 14 years, and they've been operational for the entire time. So I did feel like that was mitigation in favor of going below the guideline.
Okay. I think for the authority, I think we'll ask the licensee to just add anything you'd like before we we ask questions of either side. Is there anything you'd like to add about the stipulation? Obviously, the consideration for us is whether to adopt the stipulation that's been entered into. Anything else you want to say about the stipulation itself, or any, anything that brought you all to agree to it?
Absolutely. Thank you for your time. That is also our understanding of the stipulation that we're asking the authority to adopt this evening. Some additional background for the authority is that the shack's been there for approximately 25 years. As the prosecutor said, there hasn't been a violation in over a decade. We are here taking responsibility, acknowledging that this was a mistake. There are no excuses that can be made for this. This was inappropriate, and we're here to show that this is something that's not going to happen again, and the steps have been taken. As the prosecutor mentioned, that bartender was criminally prosecuted, is no longer working at the shack. Mr. Kish actually had one-on-one with all of his employees to talk to him about this situation, and I was joking with him before, every time I've called the shack to talk to him, I'm talking with a different bartender, a different server, and I just say, "This is Brandon, I'm calling for Jack," and they just know I'm Brandon, the attorney. So they know the background of this, and quite honestly, it's been an eye-opener for them as well. They want to make sure that they're doing everything they're supposed to, because they understand that there's criminal prosecution aside from the licensing penalties. There's criminal prosecution that can and will be had in Littleton. I think that's important for the authority to know. This is not an incident that now we are starting to do training. That's not the case. Mr. Kish told me that before each one of their staff meetings, he addresses two things with all of his folks. Number one, we check IDs. Number two, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your customers. He's told me throughout this process he's proud to be a member of this community, he cares about this community, and he wants to make sure that all of his customers and those in the area are safe, and whatever they can do to help do that. I think those are all important things. Additionally, he had all of his folks sign up through tips. That's something that the shack is paying for. There's additional training. I believe some of his employees have already started that training. Some have completed, some are still waiting to do that. But everyone has been signed up, and that's an added expense that the shack is taking. So I think that's also something that's in mitigation as well. I do think that this is an incident that you will not see the shack back here for. They take this very seriously throughout, taking responsibility for anyone that's been in there. They even have signs up saying, if you were not born before this day or after this day, we can't serve you, we check IDs. So it's something that they're very adamant about and something that they'll continue to be proactive about. If you have any additional questions for me, I'm happy to answer them, or for Mr. Kish himself, he is prepared to maybe give a short statement if that's okay, and answer any questions you folks might have.
Yeah, if the licensee would like to, if you'd like to make a statement, can you identify yourself first?
I'm Jack Kish. My brothers and I own the Shack Restaurant. We've owned it since...
Sorry, just real quick before you get into, will you just raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give before this authority is truthful?
I do.
Thank you. And just so you know, the lawyers have their own code of ethics, so that's assumed before they speak. So if there's anything you'd like to add, please go ahead.
Well, we've been here for 25 years, and when we took over a place called Cafe Potpourri in 1993, it was more of a bar destination. Now it's a restaurant destination, and it's by design, and my brother is in charge of the kitchen, and we have daily food specials, and that's our concern, is not like a destination it's not a late night destination, or it's not a destination that people come. It's kind of like a neighborhood tavern and a restaurant with a kids menu and a sports bar theme. And I apologize to everybody about the incident.
All right. As far as the fine in lieu, your books are in order, so that should we adopt this stipulation, you would be able to provide accurate receipts to the clerk's office. Okay. Any questions from the authority? We'll start down on the end there.
This might be for council. In 5C of the stipulation, where you propose the dates of October 14th, October 12 to 14, should that read 2017 or 2018?
2017.
Right, because we're calculating back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so just so everyone's clear, it used to be, and sorry, just stick with us here for a minute, but it used to be the case that we would look forward.
Yeah.
That's the idea of the new, is that we will look back to the actual date of the occurrence.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so is everyone clear on that?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. Kish, in the police report, there's an indication that the victim in this instance claimed that he was a regular at the bar. Has he made his appearance at the shack again? And if he does, what is your reaction?
He's been told he's not welcome back to the shack.
So he's been 86'd?
Yes.
All right.
Any other questions from the authority?
None for me.
If none, then I would entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the stipulation agreement and order between the city prosecutor and the licensee in Section 5C of the stipulation. The period of proposed suspension for purposes of calculating the fine in lieu of the suspension shall be October 12, 2017 to October 14, 2017. The show cause hearing date, originally scheduled for April 11, 2018, is hereby vacated.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion and a second. I'll just start discussion by saying that the police report is troubling, obviously, about the volume of drinks and over the time period in which it happened. And, though I think it's an important step that the individual who made those decisions has been held responsible, nonetheless, like I said, it's just a troubling volume. But I understand the mitigating factors, a long track record of not having been in here. So I'm in favor of the stipulation and just want to add to the licensee. Appreciate, you coming here and being forthright, but certainly don't want to see it again in Littleton. So any other discussion from the board, from the authority? Nope. Will the clerk please poll the authority, keeping in mind the recusal? Thank you.
Chair Cole,
Yes.
Vice Chair Levere,
Yes.
Authority Member Buchanan,
Yes.
Authority Member Day,
Yes.
Authority Member Webb.
Yes.
All right, that resolves that. Thank you to the new prosecutor. Thank you to the licensee for being here this evening, and hope to not see you again.
Thank you. We'd also like to thank the city prosecutor for considering our mitigation, working with us, and Ms. Norton's been fantastic, as I'm sure you all know. So thank you very much for your time.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item 9A, reports from the staff. Any reports from the staff?
I have none.
None? Nina? Nope. Any reports from authority members? Questions?
No reports, just a question on if how city council's making their way through their slog of backfilled work.
I believe we're on the bottom of the list, but at least we're on the list now.
Oh, we're on the list now. Progress.
And just to clarify, you're talking about the proposed changes we've made to the...
Correct, the amendments to
Liquor
the
code.
municipal code in relation to alcohol.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been a little bit occupied with fire and things like that.
Madam Clerk, can you give us an idea what's in the pipeline?
Right now, I only have, for next month, one new license application for the new Staybridge Suites that's going in over by the Falls Event Center.
So we should plan to have a meeting because we'll have that in the, yes, okay. Okay.
So we're meeting twice next month. We have a training session also, correct?
Yes, the training session is separate from the actual meeting dates, because you'll be meeting, the training session is for all boards and commissions.
Correct.
And I've already lodged my absence for that. Unfortunately, I will be out of town.
Is that the April 5th event?
Yes.
I will also be absent.
Is there any makeup or anything that the city clerk or the city attorney would like to address with people who can't make it?
I would say that you all have already attended fire trainings, and so you're probably well-trained. If you have any questions about procedure and would like to have any follow-up, we'd be happy to do that, but I feel fairly comfortable that you all are fairly well done. I mean, please do come if you can, but there is no requirement.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from the authority?
We'll also do election again at the next month meeting.
Yes, the first meeting of every board in April is when newly appointed, or in our case, reappointed, both Authority Member Buchanan and Authority Member Schock have been reappointed to the licensing authority based on interviews conducted in February. So yay. And so our first meeting, we will, while we won't have to transition any members out, we will be taking nominations for chair and vice chair. So you might want to keep that in mind. And then we'll go about our regular business.
Okay. Anything else? Congratulations on the reappointment.
Thank you.
All right, seeing nothing further, I'll adjourn this meeting.